Hi, class. This is Professor Albano, and this is an introduction to the CIS 130 course, Computer Hardware. The purpose of this course is to prepare you for the CompTIA A+ certification. This is your ticket to the first computer job. It is a requirement for many entry-level jobs. So what is a traditional first computer job? Well, if you're in a large business, it'll be either computer support, where you're actually doing hands-on work, or help desk, where you're responding to problems and solving problems. If you're in a small business, you'll be doing everything. You'll be doing the front office part, the computers that are in the front office, and you'll also be handling the servers and equipment in the back office or the networking closet. So these are traditional jobs. Most people start out at this level. But there are other certifications that are required for your cybersecurity career. So this is our course, and it prepares you for the A+. The following course, the 140 course, Networking for Business, will prepare you for this Network Plus, CompTIA. But the key thing to get into the cybersecurity field is the following one, which is the CIS 240, which is Security Plus. This is your key to getting your first entry-level cybersecurity kind of job. And then we also have another course which I teach, 270, which is the higher level. You really have two ways of going from here. You have what they call the red team. These are the people who are attacking systems to find the weakness. Or we have the blue team. These are the people that are defending the system, cybersecurity analysts. I teach this in the 270 course. So what do you need for this course? Obviously, you need Brightspace. That's our learning system. It's brand new, okay? You also need LabSim, PC Pro. You'll be able to get 2 weeks free access, and I'll talk about this a little bit later on. You also need Microsoft Word, because each week you're going to be downloading a Word document and completing it. And you can actually get it free at Office 365, and you could see that in the course outline. You'll get more information about these two in the course outline. But to succeed in this course, you need your dedication. It'll take about 7 hours per week to do the work, to do the lab sim, and to write the report. Excuse me. Why I choose lab sim for the course. It has very good lecture material with videos and concise fact sheets, which are like books. And you get good hands-on labs. And within the hands-on labs, it'll actually show you videos on how to do it. And then you'll do the lab, and you'll instantly know if you got it correctly. And if you didn't get it correctly, you do it over. It tells you the procedure to do it over again. So basically, this is the key part. You got good videos, good hands-on labs, and you also have quizzes. Okay. Now, Lab Sim is a simulation. It's not a virtual machine, and there are major differences, okay? And the reason, and simulation, it's exactly repeatable. When you go through a lab, it'll repeat exactly what you did, which is really good for learning, okay? But the downfall of it, it doesn't simulate everything. It only simulates what you need in order to do the task. Excuse me. In many other courses, operating systems and server course and other courses, you'll be using virtual machines. So you'll get a lot of practice with that. And the advantage of it, or the pro, it behaves exactly like the real machine, the real software. And the disadvantage is that it takes time to load the virtual machine. And if you do the lab over again, it's not exactly repeatable. So this simulation, this lab sim, is great for this course, and that's why I chose it. Now, what do you do in lab sim? It simulates a complete office. And basically, in the complete office, you click on hardware, and then you'll get access to the hardware that would be in that office. You get access to the internals of the hardware, where you'll be able to change components, and you get access to the software that when you turn it on, you can actually control it. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. There's an integration between hardware and software. So this is for the front office or desktop, but what I call the back office, or they call the network closet, is where everything is coordinated. This is not the only place there's a computer. There's computers all over the place, okay? And now in the back office, all those computers are attached through the patch panel. It goes through a switch, it goes to a router, and they're also configured or controlled by a server. You'll get access to these things. This is how it's actually connected. So each of the computers in these rooms are wired to the patch panel and then to the switch. Okay. So basically it simulates everything. It simulates the entire office, machines that are in the office, and the back office or server room. It's really, really cool. Okay. So what you'll be able to do is in the front office kind of equipment, you can install internal components and external connections. In the software, you can change the way the configuration of the operating system. And in the networking closet, you can install components and change it, and you can have access to the software that's available. In further courses like Networking Plus, the 140 course and the 240 course, you do a lot more in the back office kind of operations. So how does this course use LabSim? So each week, you're going to do a module. And when you'll know when you completed them, you'll get green checks within the module. You complete the Word document and you submit it by Sunday. So that's basically the overview of how we will use LabSim. Okay. You will get 2 weeks free access to LabSim. So you got to read the course outline right away and do this so you'll be able to complete the first assignment, which is going to be due days after the semester starts. It'll always be due on a Sunday, and it'll be like 1 week later, but it's always on a Sunday. Now, when you get LabSim, you're buying LabSim for each course. It's like buying a textbook. So you'll have one for A+, you'll have one for Network Plus, one for Security Plus. Now, if you're on financial aid, you have 2 ways of actually getting it. You can buy it online or you get it from the bookstore. If you buy it online, it's much cheaper than going to the bookstore. If you buy it online, you save your receipts and then submit it to financial aid. You go to the bookstore, you got to go to the bookstore right away because it takes them days before they give you the actual code that you need to get access to it. So don't wait. After the semester begins, go to the bookstore and then submit your financial aid so that they can get the paperwork. You can get the paperwork needed to run it after the 2 weeks. Okay. So how do we use LabSim videos? You use it very much like you would use YouTube. You can control the speed of it. Okay, I like to go faster. I go about 1.5, or you can go up to 2. You can always slow it down less. It depends upon your ability to listen to it. I had a deaf student who was able to read like 5 times. This would only go up to 2 times the speed. Up 5 times or 10 times the audio speed. It's a matter of getting used to it. So you can cut your time down a lot if you speed up the videos. You can also do the closed caption where you can actually read it at the same time, which is really cool. Okay. Every time you take an exam, you know right away whether you got it right or whether you got it wrong, and they'll explain it. Okay. So if you've got it incorrect, you can read it, find out why you got it correct, and take the exam over again. I only count the highest grade. Okay. And when you do the labs, it's very similar to it. What's really, really important when you do the labs is to read the task, what they call a scenario, carefully and do all the steps. Many times when I go through a particular lab, I'll just read through it fast and I'll skip a step and I won't get it right. Okay. So you have to read it carefully, do all the steps. And then when you finish, you'll know your results right away. So in this case of this little lab, I did those 2 things right and I didn't do this one. And it tells you what you didn't do right. And then it tells you how to do it. which is really cool. And then you can do it over again to get a higher grade, okay? When you complete a particular module, you get these little check marks, okay? So you know you've gone through it. So you'll get check marks for everything, except sometimes these facts, they don't actually, when you just open it, you're like reading a page. Sometimes you don't get those, so don't worry about those. Now, this is a good tip. If you're working with a small screen, it's hard to do LabSim because you're moving and expanding it all over again, okay? It's much better if you can get a larger screen. It's going to make your life a lot easier for doing a lot of tasks, not just LabSim. It'll cost about 130 bucks to get the monitor and the cables you need, and you can see the instructions on how to get it here. If you're doing it, if you have any questions on it, just reach out to me and I could help you through it. Okay. So this is a typical assignment. So basically, when you click on the assignment, you'll download this Word document. You'll do the work here. This particular one, it's storage. You'll do the work in each of these little modules. And then as you do the modules, I want you to name something that was interesting to you that you learned. So you're just gonna put a name in here, etc. You'll notice that, and then this is the entire module. You'll notice that this is a longer than the 7 hours. So I put some extra credit work here. You don't have to do those, okay? Now, so basically you're going through the entire module, okay? Then you're just naming something interested in each one of these things. And then you're gonna pick one of these topics and name it here and explain why it was interesting to you. And then you're going to fill out this and how you might use this information as a computer technician. And it's a 200-word total for this entire amount. So basically the procedure is you click on it, you download this Word file, you name, as you go through, you name each one of these things, you pick one of them and you explain why it was one of them, you name it here, explain why it was interesting, how you're going to use it. And then you're going to save this as an RTF file. So basically you just download it, save as RTF, because that's the way I need it to be submitted for an assignment. That's a typical assignment. So you have to plan. Don't do all 7 hours at once. Have a plan. For example, when you submit the week's assignment, download the next week's assignment, and then plan to do the first part on the Tuesday, okay? Plan to do the second part on whatever, a Thursday, and you're going to finish the work by such and such a date. And then you can submit it before Sunday deadline. Don't do all 7 hours at once. Have a plan. The plan can be flexible, but break it in pieces. Okay. Now, this is the way I grade the assignments, okay? So that 70% of the grade is based on the labs and the quizzes that you receive. There's no reason why everybody in the class can't get in the 90s on this thing right here, because you can do a lab over again, you can do a quiz over again too. So that's 70% of your grade, and I only use the highest score in each of these. And then your report that you write up, okay? If you miss the deadline, the grade is 0. So basically, this is the way I grade these things. You gotta submit it on time. This is like real work experience. If your boss requires something 9 o'clock Monday morning, and you don't have it until Tuesday, you will be around very long, okay? So this is just trying to get you used to doing things on time. So this is the course overview. What we're going to be going through is LabSim from beginning to the end. And you'll see that some assignments is going to be more than one module, LabSim 1 and 2. And some assignments it's long, so I broke it up into 2 parts, 3A and 3B. So basically we're going through all of LabSim. And then finally, there'll be a final exam. And I'm going to give you a week to do the final exam in. It'll be the final exam week. You do it anytime within that week. Okay. So the course navigation, each week is a module. You just click on it and download it and submit it, okay? The first week, there's a start here. So I'll just show you what's in the start here. So in the start here, there's just a little introduction. You can read that. The important thing is the course outline. You got to get that, download it, and read it, okay? And the important part is the first page and the last page. And then if you need any help in the course, there's a lot of different ways of doing it. This is one way of doing it. You can book a Zoom meeting with me. So basically, I have office hours in class. You'll see that in the course outline. Or if you can't come to class, you can book a Zoom meeting. You could also read something about Brightspace. But this is the key thing. Just glance through this, download the course outline, and read it. Okay. So how do you get help with the course? Well, you can get help in Brightspace, okay? If you need password or username help, or in the upper right-hand corner, there's help, okay? If you're new to Brightspace, you'll get it that way. To get help on LabSim, you can do a call or a chat with a live chat, and it's Monday to Friday, only 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that's why it's good to do your work during the week, okay? And then if you need any help, you can get help that way. If you get help with any other problems, you can email me via Brightspace, or see me during the office hours, which are in the course outline, or schedule a Zoom session. So that's